Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, to the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds, who are like men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and this video is on the prophecies of Yahweh Shemishai, specifically talking to Jacob's trouble and the prophecy of famine and whatever else the Spirit has in store, all right? Because this trade war has actually occurred. It has actually taken into effect. They were not just empty words that were said by Trump, who is the president of the United States. They were true words, and now we're in the midst of it. And from the brother Hours of Indignation 144, how tariffs impact food prices in Babylon. So let's just take a listen to it.
President Trump says the tariffs are due to economic emergency. Consumers can expect to feel price hikes on products from Mexico, like fruits, vegetables, beer, and tequila, and agricultural imports from Canada, like beef, pork, potatoes, and grain. Shoppers in Phoenix prepare for prices to go up at grocery stores.
Working 40, 60 hours a week just to pay for groceries.
Some saying higher costs driven by tariffs would force them to make tough choices.
There are some things I might just have to give up.
These moms even telling us they sometimes make the decision to feed the kids but skip their own meals.
I can barely afford to eat these days. Man, it's hard.
Now Arizonans are left to brace.
Tariffs are just a low blow for me personally. I don't see any benefit to them.
Others
I believe in my president.
telling us they just wish tariffs wouldn't hit the American family.
To work just to pay your bills and buy food and groceries is not the American way.
In Phoenix, Jane Caffrey, ABC 15, Arizona.
There's a collective 5-alarm tariff fire among food distributors, and their message is blunt. Now that tariffs are in effect, your cost for food and apparel and things like that will go up because of the Trump tariffs. Target CEO warning consumers could see price hikes within days. Snack giant Mondelez has already raised prices on several products, and Walmart says food price hikes are causing frustration and pain. And then
Yeah, because I believe it's Canada, Mexico, and China. They are the three that are targeted, and they are the biggest that does trade, the biggest countries that that trades with America. And there's a whole list of products. It's not just food products, but there are other products that are affected. So overall, what's going to be happening to people is that life in general, their current lifestyle, well, it's going to affect all of us. So everybody's lifestyles are going to be getting hit one way or another, right? Because you're not getting paid more at work. Your income isn't changing, but the price of everything, or a lot of things around us are simply going up. That reduces your purchasing power, and then you're going to have to decide what amount of money has to be accumulated to this and what amount of money has to be accumulated to that, which is already happening, but the measures are becoming tighter. Things are becoming worse. And regarding the food, in Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 16, it says, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem," talking about the Israelites. So breaking the staff of bread is, reducing the food. "And they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment." And this is what is already happening for some people. It's already a reality for some people. And it's just going to become a reality for more, where already in the video, I believe one of the individuals said that they can only feed their children. They don't really have no food to eat. And so this is just going to be getting worse and worse because of the situations already happening. People are in this predicament, so imagine what is to come. We're truly in some very terrible times. The scriptures say perilous times. The scriptures say to redeem the times because the days are evil. And the scriptures also talk about the time of Jacob's trouble upon the children of Israel. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So it is the elect of the nation of Israel that will be saved out of Jacob's trouble, a time like never before upon us as a nation. And we, the Israelites, have gone through very terrible times. So this time to come is going to be the worst ever. And in previous times, the nation experienced famine, and famine is a part of the prophecies of Yahweh Shemishai that will be occurring in 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So these things are coming, man, the judgments of Yahweh Shemishai. And with what is happening, right, you shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. So you're going to have to be rationing out. You know, these are the early stages of famine leading towards a full-blown famine, right? So let's watch a little bit more.
Food price hikes are causing frustration and pain. And then the USDA says food prices, including beef and chicken, will increase by 2.2% this year, going in the wrong direction. At this Connecticut supermarket, they're bracing for price hikes.
And don't forget the bird flu situation that they're saying is affecting the chicken and the cattle. And we're already seeing the situation with the eggs regarding the chicken. So if the bird flu situation continues, you can only imagine how it's going to become worse and worse regarding the supply of the chicken. And then they're saying that it also affects the cow. You know, if the narrative continues, we can see the effects of it in due time.
With those tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada now in effect.
Now, these are Vancouver.
Okay.
Lots of people, they grow tomatoes all over the world. So probably if these go up 25% again, we'll have to look for another source. On the other,
Stu Leonard Jr. is the president and CEO of Stu Leonard, a family-owned grocery chain on the East Coast with 8 locations. The tariffs making keeping prices low a financial and logistical challenge. So right now your salmon is $9.99 a pound?
Yeah.
Farm raised from Canada.
Yes, ma'am.
But if we're looking at a 25% tariff, then we're looking at an increase up to $12, $13.
Yes.
He's trying to keep those 25% increases from hitting his customers.
We are a little concerned about what's going on, but we're doing our best. We're talking to the suppliers. We're trying to keep the price down. We are anticipating a higher cost in the next couple days.
Those tariffs on almost all goods, likely to be felt by Americans at the grocery store first. These are $2 for $5 right now.
right, two
Right?
for five.
And these are coming straight from Mexico.
Yeah. This one is tough because now this I can't source. I can't go to it somewhere else and get avocados. I got to raise the price.
You got to raise the price.
I got to raise it. I have to. I can't get them anywhere else.
And those price hikes could change buying habits. So if you're seeing a 25% increase in avocados, for instance, does that mean you're going to be buying less of some of that produce?
No question.
And it's not just food, but booze, with prices on beer from Mexico.
And the bullseye as far as raising the price 25%. So
And
this
tequila.
is a great seller. I can't buy this anywhere else in the world. I got to go to Mexico.
Second junk, though those prices may go up only once the product already imported to the U.S. runs out. For Leonard and his business, they're bracing for volatility, unsure how much the trade war will affect prices and for how long.
It's like tariffs is a dartboard.
Yasmin joins us now in studio. So Yasmin, we just heard from Christine before your report.
Yeah.
You were in the grocery store. What are shoppers telling you? Are they already feeling it? Besides eggs, are they seeing it with other items too?
They're not feeling it yet, but there's two schools of thought. There's the wait and see folks, and then there's folks that are worried. The wait and see folks are saying, okay, listen, owners like Stu Leonard are saying we're going to absorb the cost, right? So maybe if there's a 25% hike, they're going to increase it 15%. So we won't absorb all of it, and our prices won't go sky high on things like avocados, tomatoes, salmon, for instance, because Stu Leonard is saying, hey, we can go to Norway. We can get Norwegian salmon versus Canadian salmon. But then there's the folks that are on the fixed incomes, right? I talked to a lot of folks that are retired. They're getting Social Security checks every month, right? A 20% hike, even 15% hike in prices at grocery stores, that's gonna cost a lot for them.
Yeah, and these are just the beginning stages leading to the famine, because at first it's going to be a situation where you have to really measure out what it is that you want to spend your money on, because your funds are limited, but the prices are increasing. So people are going to feel that heat at first, but then it's going to eventually lead to, in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full houses shall suddenly be found empty. So anywhere that has food are going to be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Right? So there will be a notice or an announcement of the food situation from America to out here in Jamaica to the rest of the Caribbean, South America, the rest of the world. The entire world will be experiencing famine. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall run still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So because of the famine, people are going to be fighting out there, and that leads into the state of chaos that the world is going to be coming into. Because in Matthew chapter 24, Yahushua says that we'll see certain signs. So we shall see, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So we're going to be seeing all of these things, including the famine. Famine will be occurring, and Yahushua says all these are the beginning of sorrows. So we're most certainly heading into some very, very terrible times. The time of Jacob's trouble that I brought out before, a time like never before upon us as a nation. Things are going to get really bad. And the food situation is going to be a catalyst for a lot of the bad that will be happening. Right, as it says, friends will fight one against another. In 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So things are going to reach to a certain point where, people are going to be fighting against one another, as the scriptures say. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So the scriptures is saying that the people of this world will not regard their leaders anymore, regarding whatever it is that their leaders say or tell them to do. The world is going to be in such chaos that they're not going to listen to the authorities anymore, right? It's going to be complete chaos out there. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So martial law is going to be coming as well. Concentration camps, all kinds of things. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there it is once again, that no pity upon his neighbor because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that famine is really going to do a lot of damage, man. All right, and Yahweh Shemishai will be using Esau Edom to bring about these judgments, right? Because it is the wicked elite of Esau Edom that is bringing about all of this chaos, because it is order out of chaos that they want. And it says in Revelation 6 and verse 8, and I looked and behold a pale horse, which is talking about Esau, who is the so-called white man, who are the rulers of this wicked kingdom today. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, which is talking about America, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So very terrible and worse times are upon us. And these tariffs are going to affect the situation, you know, given that they continue for a period of time. Life will become worse for people, man. And this is only, as it says, the scriptures say, the beginning of sorrows, which is coming, man. But remember, the famine is something that we will see as a part of the beginning of the sorrows. So yeah, man, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. A message unto the nation of Israel. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai Bashar Kodesh. Shalom.